Hey, AMD fanboys. Ara. I know you've been dreaming about this for a very long time. Is this finally the day where we can have an all AMD gaming PC with a Ryzen CPU and a Radeon GPU that is superior in every way possible? Well, today we're gonna build a brand new PC to test that out. We're talking about proprietary AMD technology like Smart Access Memory, wow, so smart, Fidelity FX Super Resolution, and a brand spanking new RSR, Radeon Super Resolution. So are Sam and his brothers FSR and RSR just marketing gimmicks? Or are they going to help us finally shake it off that green team dependency for our GPUs as much as we enjoy our Ryzen processors? Let's find out. Full disclaimer, AMD did send these parts over for this video, but as usual, I reserve my right to an unbiased opinion because I'm a bangsawan, and AMD has zero control over what I say. Also, we'll be posting the full unboxing and PC building video ASMR style on our YouTube link in the description below, along with all the links to all these PC parts in case you want to get in on this A+A AMD action. Anyways, let's face it, you love that Ryzen 9 or Ryzen 7 processor of yours and the underdog story of how AMD has risen up to go toe-to-toe with Intel. But no matter how you tried, you still can't make that switch from your NVIDIA cards, especially if you're a graphics ho who loves ray tracing, because that DLSS is just magic for dealing with that performance penalty from ray tracing. Now, AMD already had their own solution for this called FSR, as mentioned, and it basically works similarly like DLSS by using intelligent algorithms to upscale images, basically allowing you to increase your FPS without sacrificing too much graphics quality. The problem with that is that you would need game developers to implement it in their games. And while the amount of games that support FSR has gone up to 66, not 69, from 7 at launch, it is still far from being widely available, considering that the green team already has their DLSS in 150 games as of February 2022. However, AMD did not just take that lying down. They whipped out a brand new RSR, also known as Radeon Super Resolution. RSR is the driver-based version of FSR, which means that it doesn't just work in games that support it. I mean, you do still need at least a Radeon RX 5000 series GPU and newer, but essentially, RSR would allow you to have a better gaming experience on older titles like maybe Fallout New Vegas or Metro Exodus that doesn't support like DLSS and stuff like that. Another feature that I wanted to test is Smart Access Memory that allows your Ryzen 5000 series CPUs as well as a few other older 3000 series ones to access all the memory of your Radeon RX 6000 series GPUs, which should lead to some performance gain. To enable Smart Access Memory, you first need to turn on above 4G decoding and resize bar support in your BIOS, then boot into Windows and simply open AMD Adrenalin and flip it on. Before we get started with our tests, do check out the specs to our test setup. We ran 3 sets of AMD CPU plus GPU combos, which we think would be optimal for different resolutions. We have the Ryzen 7 5800X 3D plus Radeon RX 6950 XT for 4K, Ryzen 7 5700X plus 6750 XT for 1440p, and finally the Ryzen 5 5600 plus RX 6650 XT for 1080p. First off, let's compare the performance of games with SAM plus FSR or RSR on versus off. Now, AMD did give us codes for Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Horizon Zero Dawn for this test, so I wanted to add another game that nobody can deny is difficult AF to run. Cyberpunk 2077. I decided to skip on competitive titles like Valorant and LOL because what's the point? It's all a joke, get it? Lol. Because I really don't see the point of turning on upscaling for them, since they're already easy peasy to lemon squeezy. Okay, looking at the numbers, Starting with Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you'll see that all three of these combos are more than capable to game in their recommended resolutions, even in native conditions with SAM and RSR off. By turning on just SAM, we see a 10% increase in FPS for the RX 6950 XT combo in 4K, but only 2% in the 6750 XT combo in 1440p, and 4% for the 6650 XT combo in 1080p. Turning both SAM and RSR on, however, we saw a 35% increase in FPS for the 6950 XT combo in 4K, 34% for the 6750 XT combo in 1440p, and 20% for the 6650 XT combo in 1080p. Very impressive, though it seems like the performance impact of SAM and RSR is understandably higher at higher resolutions. Moving on to Horizon Zero Dawn, with just SAM on, we saw a 12% increase in FPS for the RX 6950 XT combo in 4K, 9.5% for the 6750 XT combo in 1440p, and a crazy 32% for the 6650 XT combo in 1080p. With both SAM and FSR on, because it's available here, we saw a 55% increase in FPS for the 6950 XT combo in 4K, 43% for the 6750 XT combo in 1440p, and 60% for the 6650 XT combo in 1080p. It seems like FSR performs even better than RSR. Interesting. Finally, in Cyberpunk 2077, FSR and SAM are working wonders, giving us about 3 times the FPS in 4K for the 6950 XT combo, double in 1440p for the 6750 XT combo, and 1.6 times in 1080p for the 6650 XT combo. These are the best results for FSR so far, but Cyberpunk 2077 has 6 different settings for FSR and we left it on auto. If you use something like ultra quality or quality, the performance improvement will probably be not that much, but the quality of the image will actually improve. Next, I wanted to see if FSR and RSR would actually perform identical, so I tested Horizon Zero Dawn by turning on either FSR and RSR. As seen in our test results here, it is evident that FSR is superior to RSR at boosting FPS performance. We saw a 27% increase in the 6950 XT combo, a 10% in the 6750 XT combo, and 9% in the 6650 XT combo. For 4K, FSR is way better, but you can expect somewhat similar performance in lower resolutions. But what about ray tracing? Well, again, I tested it on Cyberpunk 2077 because it sends 90% of gaming PCs into a cinematic universe of 24 FPS and the good old days of the PlayStation original. If FSR works as intended, we should now get playable frame rates with ray tracing on. Well, it seems like while FSR is definitely still giving us very impressive FPS games, we still can't really game in the recommended resolutions for these 3 combos in Ray Tracing Ultra. What I suggest that you do is switch to Ray Tracing Medium and turn on FSR, or you can just go down 1 resolution. Nonetheless, it seems like the green team still has a lead in this department. So, is 2022 finally the year for an all AMD gaming PC with zero compromise? Well, mostly yes, and a tiny maybe not. A huge yes for people who care more about FPS than ray tracing. Like we mentioned in all of our Radeon RX 6000 series reviews, AMD is very competitive when it comes to pure rasterization performance, as well as value for money from the high to mid-range, and actually the value will reduce as you go lower. The tiny maybe not is for people who want better ray tracing performance. I mean, things are now quite a bit better with SAM and RSR support, which has better compatibility compared to even DLSS because RSR is driver based, but the green team still has them beat in terms of ray tracing performance, albeit at a slightly higher price, which again may or may not be the case depending on where you are from and when you are watching this video. Now, we tested all these AMD features with the newer Radeon RX 6950 XT, 6750 XT and 6650 XT, mainly because, well, they are newer and newer is always better. No lah, I just like shiny things. But you can enjoy FSR on pretty much any Radeon GPU as far back as the RX 400 series, as well as NVIDIA GPUs from GTX 10 series and up. Again, RSR is only for Radeon RX 5000 and 6000 series GPUs, while SAM only works with the combo of any Ryzen 5000 series CPU with a selected few 3000 series ones, plus Radeon RX 6000 series GPUs only. Next, I'm probably going to do a review on that Ryzen 7 5800X 3D, so stay tuned if you are interested. And that's all folks for today's video. If you thought this video was helpful, don't forget to like and share. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions regarding anything that I talked about today. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to see more content like this. Again, my name is Shane from Mob House. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram to see more shenanigans from me and the Mob House crew. And I will see you in the next one after this comment section. Today's comment section, I'm replying to the Intel 12 Gen power limit video i7 versus i9 for content creators. The first comment is from Nishant Kumar. He says that we don't need water cooling, air cooling is good enough. While that is technically true, if you want to squeeze all the juice out of your processors, using the best cooling capability and also cooling solution that you can afford will actually help you achieve that better. Ariful Rahman says underrated, love from Bangladesh. Love from Malaysia to Bangladesh. Far Cry says great YouTuber. I'm Far Cry from that, get it? Firas Nazaini says, does room design affect temperature? Should I just install aircon? Yeah, just install aircon lah. Don't be so stingy. In the wonderful world of Facebook, firstly we have John Mark Exim that says he can't even afford call to the world. You see lah, the wonderful world of Facebook is not very wonderful after all. Jay How You tag his butt buddy Ng Rende. There's no such thing as overkill. Of course, bro. Where got such thing one? I never see or hear before. Sawada Fuyu says hashtag cheap buy sounds very wrong. It's because you are dirty-minded, bro. Get your head out of the longkang lah. Razif Muhammad said he's team red. That's your problem lah. I'm team purple. You know why? I'm team whatever. You plus the blue plus the red become what? Purple lah.